Hey guys, what's going on? Kel back here once again, representing the 40k YouTube channel, bringing you another Warhammer 40,000 related video. Today we go back to the Warhammer community page and have a look at the article that's all about the Black Library and all about the Avenging Son, and an interview with Guy Haley. This is all to do about the Avenging Son, the new book coming from Black Library. Love the stuff that Black Library put out, and I love it when they put interviews and stuff like that on the Warhammer community page. Before we get into the video though, big shout out as always to everyone who has subscribed to the channel up to now. Thank you very much guys on behalf of myself and Call, up to 311 subs as of this morning. Thank you all guys so much. It really does mean a lot for your likes, your subs, your comments. Everything that you do for us is massively appreciated, it really is. We have a new sub that's appeared on the message part of YouTube, so I'll give this guy a quick shout out now. Big thank you, big hello to Craig McHugh. Thank you very much my friends for subscribing to the channel. Always good to see new names and faces pop up on the messaging part of YouTube. If you would like a shout out like Craig just got, all you got to do is subscribe to the channel and make sure that your name is visible on our kind of notifications board. If you're new to 40k, we are 40k. We post Warhammer 40,000 content videos every single day. Things like news, hints, tips, reviews, unboxing, painting videos, all kinds of stuff. Basically, we love 40k, and we know you do too. So we put out videos about anything 40k related for you to enjoy. So if you do enjoy it, subscribe to the channel now. But with all that said, let's get into this article about the Avenging Son, an interview with Guy Haley. The dawn of fire is nearly here. This weekend, you'll be able to order Avenging Son, the first book in this epic new series that will be telling the ongoing story of the Indomitus Crusade and reboot Gilliman's attempts to save the Imperium. We sat down with Guy Haley, author of Avenging Son, and one of the architects of the series to find out more. And there's Guy himself. Very cool. Some of the stuff the Guy puts out it's fantastic. Nothing short of fantastic, honestly. Warhammer community. What was the purpose of building the narrative of the Dawn of Fire series? Guy says, writing anything of this size is quite the undertaking, and it was pretty daunting to be asked to steer the project. We are talking, after all, about the chief narrative of Warhammer 40,000. It's the first time the Black Library and the Warhammer 40,000 studio have worked in this way on a series like this. This is an original narrative largely written by the Black Library, but guided by events and ideas being continuously created by the studio. Both these areas of Games Workshop have slightly different needs and both have to accommodate each other, so there's all manner of things that need to be taken into account. Here we have a picture of the Imperium as we know it, the galaxy as we know it. We've got I won't zoom in too much because when you zoom in, it actually goes out, which is a bit of a pain, and you can't really zoom in. But we have the Segmenta Solar, which is where Terra is. We have the Great Rift. We've got the Eye of Terror, the Segmentum Obscurus, all kinds of stuff. Really detailed map, including the Ultima Segmentum and parts of the galaxy that's been attacked by war, inside the warp, all kinds of stuff. Very detailed. And Guy continues, it's my personal preference when writing this kind of fiction to make everything that has been written true. Sometimes in other big shared universes you'll see the divergence between the various different media, but for me the Warhammer 40,000 universe is all one place. Key to my preparation was reading everything that has been or is being written about this period of the Imperium's history and putting events into a rough, though not definitive, order of occurrence. As stories, by necessity, happen in a sequential way and have to preserve an amount of verisimilitude. I think that's pronounced that, verisimilitude. It's important we don't end up with the people in two or more places at once, and that dramatic moments have a resolution, as well as consequences for the future. This framework is fairly loose, but it has to exist for everyone to perform their roles. So sorting that out was a task number one. Very true. You know, the Warhammer 40,000 universe is massive. Let's not beat about the bush. It's massive. And we as fans would instantly know if something was up. Like, say, for example, Gilliman was on McCrag, and then in another book, in the exact same time, he was on Terror. You know, we would pick on it straight away. So it's good to see that they're going into it, reading up it, taking their time, making sure that the story flows and is accurate. So integrating all the wonderful details that the studio and Miniatures Desire have come up with is somewhat easier, but still needs careful ongoing work. I don't like contradictions in my universe. Who does? Very, very true. And here we have a picture of the Space Marine half of the Indomitus box set. Haven't put mine together yet. I do have one, but I've put some Necrons together and I've painted some, and then I'm going back and painting some scenery before I start on the Space Marines. And I've got, you know, when you've got like a box of shame and stuff like that. I thought my box of shame was actually all right, but when I've looked at it, there's a couple of big pieces of terrain that I need to get through. Once I've got through that, it won't be too bad, and I'll crack on with some Space Marines. The other major thing we had to do was to come up with an overall arc for this period. The Horus Heresy is the obvious comparison to this series, but it has one major difference. When we started writing that, we all knew the end. We didn't know all the details, but the myth was established. Here we had to come up with something suitable, mind-blowing, that fits the tone and story of the universe, as well as its primary existence as a game world, while being a satisfying narrative arc. I think the endpoint is pretty awesome. Only I and a few others know what will happen. And of course, I can't tell you. Okay, it's interesting that they thought of the way at the end. I didn't actually say that coming, to be fair. I thought they were going to say it's going to be ongoing and we'll think about the end in the future. But that's interesting. In short, my job, as I see it, is stringing together all the bits of Warhammer 40,000 and make them make sense within the rules of narrative fiction, as well as telling an epic tale. And we've got Warcom. How did you prepare yourself for writing Avenging Son, Guy? Lots of meetings, lots of reading, lots of mastering of fear. And here we have Avenging Son. Can we click on this? No. Can we zoom out? No. Never mind. So we have Avenging Son. We've got Gilliman at the back. Looks like a captain. I don't know if these are actually named characters, but it's a very, very cool front. Got an apothecary down the bottom with some intercessors. Going to do the fight in the Emperor's glorious name. Very cool. What can people expect from Avenging Son? A pulse-pounding, epic, interview filled open to the biggest war the Imperium has ever known. Oh, okay. The biggest that the Imperium has ever known. Bigger than the Horus Heresy? Okay. Can you tell us about the protagonists? There are so many. We want there to be lots and lots of characters, just like in the Horus Heresy. We want a new generation of heroes like Graviel Loken, Sevatar, Garo, and all the rest of those characters that writers can follow through this grand undertaking. I introduce a bunch in Avenging Sons, some of whom are already known, such as Lady Van Lescus, Fleet Master of the Fleet Tertius, something like that. There are also many completely fresh ones like Messinus, a grizzled white consul veteran, Farron Arius, a newly awoken Primera Space Marine, and Fabian Gulfrian, one of the founding 4 Historias. Okay. The likes of Rabu Gilliman and Belisarius Call also make appearances. Gilliman has a large role, but we made a stylistic choice to only see them through the eyes of others, at least in the early books. Okay, so Gilliman's going to be in it, but it sounds like it's even though it's called Avenging Son and he is the Avenging Son, it's focusing on a wider array of characters. Interesting. What are you most excited about seeing unfurl in the Dawn of Fire series? Guy says, for me, it's the way we've tried to get it all to connect up. Although Dawn of Fire will be a separate series and will have made a noticeable effort to make it accessible and understandable to all readers, it has ties into all manner of current Warhammer 40,000 fiction. It has some interesting links with my Dark Imperium, Blood Angels and Belisarius Call novels, and with Chris Wright's Terran set Inquisitor, and Adeptus Custodes books. If you follow Dawn of Fire and explore these other tales, you'll only enrich an already exciting experience. Cool. And there's some of the books that they mentioned before. Devastation of Baal, great read. Give that book a read, guys, if you haven't. Did you do anything differently from other books you've written to leave plot hooks for future Dawn of Fire writers? There was a bit of a top-down direction coming from me and Nick Kine to begin with, so the plot hooks and narrative stands are kind of built into that. But I've left plenty for little ones in Avenging Son as well. Now the series is developing and we're getting more and more input from the other writers. I expect these to proliferate, but that's just the way we work in the shared setting, and is indeed a characteristic of its success. Warhammer 40,000 is far more integrated than many other large shared universes. Very cool. Do you have any interesting writing quirks? I don't know. When I was a journalist, I interviewed scores of writers. We all do it differently, but within a fairly well-defined set of parameters. I work fast. I think that's my quirk. But if you mean, do I have a writing hat or a superstitious favourite chair, then no, nothing like that. Okay, cool. Do you think people should get stuck into Avenging Son at start the series? This is the ongoing story of the Imperium of Man, tied into current events and ancient history both. It's a series for old and new Warhammer 40,000 fans alike. It picks up themes laid down in the Horus Heresy and strands the deep time history and will take them in unexpected directions. If you like Warhammer 40,000 even a little bit, you should read these books. Thanks, Guy. We can't wait. If you feel the same, and we know you do, you'll be able to pre-order Avenging Son in paperback, ebook, MP3, audiobook, and special edition formats on Saturday. Until then, check out some of the other books Guy mentioned have ties in the series, such as Chris Wright's The Emperor's Legion, or Guy's own Belisarius called The Great Work. Very cool, guys. What do we think about that? The Black Library is one of the best parts of Warhammer 40,000 by a long chalk. It's what gives us the story. It's what gives us the answers and the questions of what's going on in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. I love the Black Library, and I've said it many times, guys. If you haven't bought anything from the Black Library, you really should. Go and support it. Even if you just buy an ebook. Literally, guys, the ebooks and stuff like that are just a couple of quid. Just a couple of quid for like a really well-written story. You can pick up one set that I have seen online which costs $4.99, but it has 5 short stories in. I'm not sure what the short stories are, but it popped up very quick while I was getting changed for rugby the other day, which would look kind of interesting. So go and check something like that out, guys. Support the Black Library. But what do we think about this? Who is looking forward to Avenging Son? Who's looking forward to Dawn of Fire series like I am? Leave some comments below, guys. If you're new to 40call, we post Warhammer 40,000 content videos every single day. Things like news, hints, tips, reviews, pin videos, unboxing videos, everything really. Basically, we love 40k. We know you do too. So subscribe to the channel and help us grow the channel into something amazing. But that's going to be it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. This is Kel signing out for 40call, saying stay safe, look after each other. Until next time, guys. We'll see you all later.